So, Spencer.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about why you decided to come in and get neurofeedback from BrainPaint.
I decided to get feedback for BrainPaint because I was having a hard time coping with my emotions and therefore social situations during the time that I came there.
Mm-hmm. So you have previously been diagnosed with Asperger's, is that correct?
Yes.
And can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Like what interests you have, what you're doing, you're going to school, I understand.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Well, I've played guitar for about, I think, 11 or 12 years now. And sometimes I write songs and poems, but it's kind of difficult for me to do that because I don't always know what I want to write about. And very much into things like poetry, any sort of philosophy, that sort of thing. Been doing yoga for about 1.5 years now. And then I guess the other thing that I like doing is making people laugh.
Are you a joke teller?
No, my humor's more spontaneous and weird.
Oh, I love weird humor. Okay,
yeah,
good.
Me too.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about, let's see, you go to college.
Yeah.
You're how old?
25.
25, and what are you studying?
Trying to study linguistics.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me a little bit about what kinds of social issues that you say you had prior to BrainPaint?
Oh. Well, I'd just be a bit more prone to, getting mad at people when I didn't understand what they were trying to say to me. And I wasn't really able to retrace my steps as to, why I'm even mad in the first place. I just sort of acted on impulse before that. And now, I still feel frustrated in situations sometimes, but as far as acting impulsively, that's gotten a lot less.
Okay. Which is my next question, really. So since you've been having BrainPaint sessions, you've had about
34
sessions. What have you noticed?
I've noticed that I've just become a calmer person that can think its way out of situations easier if they bother me.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, I'd just like to be calm in situations no matter what comes up. That's gonna take a while, I realize, but I think it's a goal worth accomplishing.
Can you give me some examples of how you've been able to tell that you're different?
Well, one way is that I'm able to use my mind to think back to what I've done in situations that aren't exactly comfortable for me, instead of just lashing out. And because I don't lash out, I'm able to think my way through things a lot easier.
Have other people commented to you or noticed?
My mom has.
What has she noticed?
Pretty much the same thing that I have.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else you want to say about how BrainPaint has maybe really honed in on Asperger's? I noticed that when you first came here, you really were very identified with Asperger's, and over the course of the treatment, I actually am kind of seeing you move a little bit away from that, a little less identified that way, or wanting to identify. And I'm just curious about that.
What exactly do you mean?
Well, I just know that you liked hanging out with other Aspies,
mm-hmm.
and you still do, I know.
Yes.
But that also you're really wanting to expand now and and continue to reach out to friendships and relationships in other arenas. And I was just wondering if you thought brain paint had something to do with that.
Interesting question. Let me think about that.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit. I don't know, deep down inside I've kind of always wanted to expand my base of friends. It's just been incredibly difficult to do so because, I don't know, other Aspies are the people that I'm kind of closest to, and I don't know, I'm only now just kind of starting to meet other Aspies who share my interests or realize that they share my interests. Before that, it was kind of rare, and it still is. But I guess my chances are increasing, and maybe in sort of a synchronous, is that the word?
Mm-hmm.
In a synchronous kind of way, maybe brain paint has to do with that.
Interesting.
Like, in other words, it's sort of happening at the same time.
Mm-hmm. It's unfolding almost without intention. It's like you're just moving forward.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I see you changing quite a bit. You seem different to me quite a bit than when I first met you.
Like, how so?
Well, you seem much more relational. You seem much more interactive and reciprocal in your in your presence and in our conversations. They do really feel like it's a back and forth exchange. When I first met you, I think it was more you sort of talked and other people sort of listened. I watched you interact with a lot of people, and there was a lot of talking, but not a lot of reciprocal interaction.
Part of that's just getting to know you. Because, I don't know, I usually am either like you said, or I'm just plain shy when I don't know somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But if I do know somebody, then, like, I open up to them. I want to talk to people. I'm probably one of the few Asperger people I've ever known that's more extrovert than introvert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are. You're different because you really access the right side of your brain quite a bit with your arts interests.
Yeah.
And it seems to me like you have that bent toward relationship when other Aspies often don't. Or want to, but don't have the skill.
Exactly. And I can't exactly say that I have all the skills for it, but, I'm getting there.
Yeah, you are. Well, thanks. Is there anything else that you want to say about your experience?
Not that I can think of. Anyway, thanks.
You're welcome.